talking about, guys? We are in game number 1 of a brand new best of 3. This is the other semifinals here in the Olimoleague, and once again, want to start off this best of 3 with a quick shout out to the only reason this Olimoleague is possible, and that's you dudes, you folks, you guys, you girls tuning in who donate to the Patreon, who make sure that this crowd-funded tournament survives and grows week by week by week. We're over a year into it at this point, and every single week, I am more than excited to cast this tournament above most others. So I want to thank you all personally for helping contribute to this. And again, for as little as $5, $1, whatever amount you're able to spare a week, you can help improve this tournament in lots of big ways. So patreon.com/Olimoleague. Except I can't put that in all chat. So observer chat. There we go.
There you go.
In the bottom right side of Prianterraces, his name on the bracket is stylish, but it's definitely the blue Terran aLive.
Ooh. In the top left as the red Zerg, his name is True. It's true to his heart. That's why he named himself that.
I love this guy in chat, by the way, who thinks we have potential. I'm really glad.
I know.
I'm really glad to know that we potentially could be good casters one day. One day we could build a channel up to the point where we can sustain our own tournaments and cast our own things at our own leisure, and maybe, just maybe, we could even do a live event one day.
That would be insane. I don't know if you have that much potential.
I think we do, kid. I think I got Moxie and you got Spunk, and together we got what it takes.
Oh, I want Moxie.
I don't want Spunk because it's a word used for other things.
Moxie's such a good word. When did it ever fall out?
Moxie was the name of the wonderfully voluptuous lady in Borderlands.
Velour. Wait.
Same difference. Because it's smooth no matter how you feel it. Alright, Reaper is going to trade up for a little bit of damage. It's worth noting, guys, like, we've actually seen a fair amount of aLive. Not through Olimoleagues, but through pretty much everything else. And he's been competing in the odd Olimoleague here and there. His TVZ has not looked very strong. His TVT was looking awesome. He finished like top 8 easily, top 4 of our TVT only tournament, $2,000 right off at the start of Legacy of the Void. But TVZ's been looking fishy all over the place. Whereas True has been playing TVZ to this almost like laughable degree. Like we see him face roll with fast ultras. We see him destroy with Roach Ravager. He's got this matchup on lockdown, it feels.
Sulky and True in general have the Olimoleague on lockdown now that Bjorn has moved on to greener pastures.
I know, fuck. Excuse me. Pardon me. I just miss him so much, Zombie. I miss him every day. Every day I have to see Terran lose a game and just know that there's another man out there who could have done better.
We have such a love affair with Bjorn.
I
Holy
do.
crap.
I got the biggest crush on Bjorn. You had no idea.
Yeah, you want to be his wife, his Chinese wife.
I would be his Chinese wife. I would gladly. I don't know what I would do, actually. I take it all back.
Tell us in detail.
Well, I just feel like, so hear me out, right? Like, if he's like already Mr. Introvert who can't talk to girls in the first place, I doubt he's gonna be like super forceful in the bedrooms. He's probably like a gentleman and nice and.
I'd love to meet him in real life.
It's gonna run by. Look to catch some drones at a gold base, but there's no gold base to be had, so for Live's sake, yeah, he can play with his queen, spit some fire, but if he stays around too long, these Hellions get a little bit too weak, and you don't want to lose these early on. Hellions are already pretty rough to go with in the first place, and a lot of games have actually been lost because of the choice to go for Hellions, but I like this. There's a Liberator following this up. There's an elevator move to the main with these Hellions. This could potentially catch True off guard, not by much. I mean, the Creep Tumor is going to see this coming, but still, be nice.
This could do a lot of damage. The Lings run back, and the Hellions don't do very much damage at all. Oh dear, that surround was a good one. The medevac was right on top of them, and he still doesn't choose to pick them up.
Yeah, I think a lot of control is being focused elsewhere. That's why. Doesn't get a lot of kills for his trouble, but does cause a lot of panic for True. However, losing all these units forfeits aLive a lot of what he had on the field, and while we kind of watched this with Salvation moments ago, if there was a big counterattack on the way, if there's like a bust coming, there wouldn't be any defense for it. Just a meager little wall.
This is where
Holy schmeckle! Our World of Warcraft friends at GCD TV just hosted us for 2,600 people. Hype! David
Ooh.
is, of course, one of the nicest people I've had the pleasure to get to know outside of StarCraft 2, and I'm super glad GCD is doing well enough that they can host us for so many people. What the fuck? So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just joining us here for the GCD stream, give us a holler in chat, but please understand, A, we're streaming off of a delay to avoid cheating. B, we're casting the semifinals of a Korean tournament right now, and the grand finals follows up afterwards. You're joining us, though, just in time for Game 1 in a best of 3.
Yes. So Liberator is going to try and do damage where the Hellions could not, but those Hellions just dying like they did was really, really quite bad. Guys, the transfuse. Still gonna. Oh no, maybe would have lost the Queen, but targets down those drones instead. And Achu's going to be on 2 gold bases, 4 bases total. aLive gonna have trouble getting his 3rd. Creep is blocking it as well, and this drop needs to do a little bit more. Actually, a lot more.
It is questionable how much more can you do, though. I mean, this is... He's actually going to unload it here and walking towards the gold. That's not a bad choice, but with all that extra mineral income True's had for not a significant amount of time, but a decent amount of time, he's got a lot of lings out on the field. He's got several queens here on the front line. Defending this should be fairly easy.
Yeah. It's a couple of drones, and most importantly, gets out of there with every single Marine in tow. That's definitely more important, keeping this alive in a constant threatening maneuver. aLive does take his 3rd base. Again, Creep got that receding faster nerf buff, whatever you want to call it, depends what race you are.
It's called the hairline nerf because it recedes so much faster.
And that actually really helped with just that, specifically that situation. But True's actual creep spread, you know, the creep tumors, is starting to get pretty expansive, and aLive is going for this drop style of play, which means that creep spread is kind of the last thing on his mind, and it could get kind of insane.
Alright, so these 2 medevacs on the left side are really... I mean, I don't know if the medevac in the main is going to be used as the distraction or the actual damage, but the point is, you look left, you hit right, and that's kind of what aLive's setting up for, so a lot of banelings and lings have been diverted to the main. Meanwhile, there's still a considerable amount of lings, but no banelings to stop this, so as the Marines just kind of stutter in, they're going to get picked up. Drop in the main, decides to go back in for round 2. There's 3 banelings waiting. If he focuses them down, this will be fairly easy. Does precisely that. Nicely done.
Yep. Gets the Queen too, and gets out of there once again. So attacking on the left side as well, but just enough lings are doing a good enough job. But where are those banelings? True was putting every last... Oh, there they are. But every last drop of the gas into mutas and upgrades.
Meanwhile, another wave going down the middle of the map. This is what we talked about before, that when you go for baneling styles, you've just got so much more bio to deal with. You just don't have the same ratio of banelings to Marines that you had in Heart of the Swarm. So here in Legacy, as we see struggling a little bit, could probably drop here on the mid ground if he's worried about those mutas, but he knows they're going to turn around because here comes that big fight in the middle of the map. Lots of Marines trying to spread left to right. There's mostly lings, no banelings. However, the mutas are going to prove to be a big problem of trying to escape. Medevac's in chase now and gets one of them picked off.
That was nice. Yeah, this mass link, it worked. You know, it definitely would have been a lot better with a couple of banelings in it, but at least it worked and sent aLive back off. And once again, that creep spread still not really receding either. Drop on the main base is being responded to rather quickly, not going to do a ton of damage. And aLive he's in trouble. You know, he's been at 40 to 50 drones most of this game, finally like capping out at 49 apparently. Well, I got a couple more SCVs on the way. The gold base finally saturated. He is starting to bank those minerals. Needs to get all those add-ons and whatnot on his barracks right now, but he's down 50 supply. That's not so good. He's actually down in upgrades too, in like 30 seconds.
Well, the ling run by again. It's so weird to see mass lings, because if you've ever been a fan of StarCraft, you know how big of a part of this game banelings have been since Wings of Liberty. But the lots of lings are still scary enough to just keep aLive at home. No more drops going off, just the one in the main. It's been the same consistent drop, in and out over and over again. Surprised this never actually got picked off by the mutas, but regardless, going to get some nice drone kills, corralling everything here. Sees the infestation pit, though, and I think a big part of this, even if he gets cleaned up, is he now knows that it's getting close to Hive Tech. And when Zerg hits Hive Tech, that's when it gets really scary for Terran.
Yeah, that was a pretty good scout. Pushing through does not have a lot of splash to his name, and while usually the better hits are against those big ball banelings, they're still going to be helpful against the large amount of lings. The upgrades did even out, so that's actually going to start going in favor of aLive here, as, you know, he always starts for Terran a little bit faster, but he's actually choosing to play a little defensive right here, and that could be problematic. He saw the invitation pit, he knows the Hive is right on its heels, so choosing not to be pressuring right now is a dangerous choice.
I guess to kind of lay this out, because I know, again, what's up, World of Warcraft people. If you haven't kept up with Legacy of the Void so far, but you've probably seen at some point in your gaming history Ultralisks being a big part of the matchup. Now they are bigger and scarier than ever. As we get towards Hive Tech, it really is like that timer. Like, True's got so many banelings and lings, and this will only last for so long. Ultralisks now have a new upgrade that gives them +4 armor, makes them basically unkillable to most units of the game. So things like Marines and Marauders are just not going to cut it at a point. So for True's sake, I love his army supply. You mentioned this early on. Like, if you've got enough banelings and lings, it'll work. And right now, it feels like he certainly does. But it's all about that next step. Will aLive even consider Ghosts anytime soon?
I don't think so. He started his Liberator production when he went, went back home and got a little offensive. So I think his choice is going to be those Liberators. From the very beginning, that was the choice to be made. I was a little more in favor of Liberators because it seemed like Ghosts would be too expensive, but then Ghosts seemed to be the better option. Yet we have people going back to the Liberator choice. I don't know.
I think fungal growths have really started making Ghosts less and less of an option as Cirque players have started to adapt how to deal with it, but I still think at the end of the day, it does seem like Snipe consistently in the games we've been casting is the best way to deal with it. Mutas are clumped up though, and this Liberator's just got to get a couple shots off. However, not paying attention, misses some crucial hits, but that's a lot of Marines. Uh-oh, here comes the banelings off of creep, splits out of aLive are looking good. There's way too much Terran bio here. Big mistake out of True.
Yeah,
like he had this whole chunk of lings wasn't using. No run-bys, no swoops in from behind. Ultralisks are on the way though. Chitus plating started. Until this upgrade here is done, the Ultras aren't that scary. The Marines can actually deal.
Thank God for this ling run by, though. It looks like aLive is not going to pull back, and he's an opportunity after such a great fight. And without the plating, the Ultras will be susceptible to just dying in general. A little bit of a back attack, though, gets on top of the Marines. The Banelings hit some really nice hits, and that should be enough that True can clean things up now. Right,
and again, it's not about even just like winning a big fight here to end the game. True's just got to buy time for those Ultras, and it'll be the Ultras that start turning this game around for him. Corruptor's coming in as well to deal with the Liberators. This goal base is pretty much mined out, so for aLive's sake, doesn't really have to worry about holding on to it for too much longer, but yeah, Liberator is going to be dealing 85 damage a shot if the Ultras get caught in their little circles, but they just walk right on by. Chitus plating still not done. This might be a little bit too early out of True, but I think he wants to just press the issue and not get caught up at home with these Liberators. Once those Corruptors come out, the Liberators will get cleaned up fairly easily, and now it's really, really looking good for True, even though he's the one who's behind in upgrades.
Yeah, nah, that won't even matter as long as those Ultras have that upgrade. Really, the attack on the 4th gold base was quite nice. This is a nice position.
This forces the Ultras through the Liberators. That actually gets some really good shots. Chitus plating's done, though.
Yeah, so they're not going down once they're past the Liberators.
No, but the Liberators are gone.
All die. Now the Corruptors are on top of the Medivacs, too, so this is limited time to do damage. Cleans up this gold base, but that was also kind of mined out. Now
just waiting for like that one Ultra to come in and clean up all the bio.
On the left side, aLive is starting to pull and tug True this way and that, getting some damage done. More importantly, buying time to get an army back up at home. He saturated his 4th gold base again.
It's really low, weirdly, it's a high-stakes game with a low-stake economy. No one's really got any money. That's why they're still sitting on 100 supply instead of maxed out 200. But a couple of Marines here doing some significant damage. The Ultra is now being drawn towards this gold base. Losing this absolutely sucks, but True did recently establish a base in the north, so he's still okay on money and income once he deals with all this harass.
Yeah, but he went from being at 60 drones to 35 SCVs or something like that to, even workers right now. And of course, aLive still has all of his command centers, so he's going to have that mule option, which Sir just doesn't have anything to really compete with that. The biggest thing, I guess you could say competes with that is just the extreme durability of Ultras. If aLive can't afford Ghosts or more Liberators, then he's going to have to start maybe thinking about just SimCity, hoping that his drops will force True to say, fuck it, I'm just going to attack, and then attacking into SimCity never works out for Ultras. But it's a very dicey game for both parties. aLive does have, I think, the better options to end the game, though, just with the way Medivacs, that micro.
Well, Marines looking to stem towards the north, and it's going to catch some of these drones. They're just going to melt. This is a very important base for True, so this actually draws his attack home. Like, everything needs to defend this base. Money is everything at this stage of the game, and no one really has a lot to work with. aLive, however, floating that new command center over here, going to drop mules, get some mineral patches going. His income's starting to look good once again. aLive finding the one position Ultras can't walk up to, so that's going to be nice.
We've actually seen a surprising amount of games that look like this on Preon Terraces specifically, and I do recall that one little position almost winning Bjorn a game. But he ended up losing. That was back when Beyond was still losing, though. So, you know, months ago.
Yeah, okay, you're cute. Stop there. Don't quit your day job.
Oh, the SCVs were supposed to leave, not just get stuck in a corner and all
But
massacred.
even with the SCVs going down, like there's so much emphasis on the way mules are going to be working this late in the game. True, as we can see, those ultras can take a hit. They don't die. They're going to try and walk away, but these are units he can't replace. He doesn't have the money to make 3 new ultras.
Can't run into the ultras though, but yeah, they will eventually go down unless Lings can get over here and help them out. All the Widow Mines, oh god.
The Widow Mines I'm actually not so concerned with so much as, the Grippers, Widow Mines everywhere.
So many Widow Mines, and then of course no Overseer. A drop's gonna kill the third of True, and I think True has just lost this game. His ultras are no longer, like, they're not... There's not enough of them. If there were more of them, then yeah, he still has a chance, but he's just losing out in the army.
I love how scrappy this is. I love that this game 1 and a best of 3, potentially 3 games in total for this, and if these two are this well matched on all the other maps, I'm going to be very excited. But for True's sake, I mean, he's got... the dynamic of this is so weird. True's got an army that can't really be killed, but aLive's got an economy that's going to allow him to constantly replace units that do get killed. True's got no money anymore. That's it. Like, long-distance mining exclusively. So, if this army finally gets whittled down, if each of these Widow Mines pops off one of those hits, I mean, that's going to be game.
Oh, this is game. Even without the Widow Mines, that high army is actually
GG.
committed, even for ultras. GG.
aLive is going to take game number 1. Awesome start to this series.